Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern Living at its best.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world listening to the sound of my voice. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County, 76 degrees going up to a high of 86. So it's going to be kind of hot. It's going to be a little warm, and it's also going to be a little bit chance of showers today. So today is Thursday. Y'all know it's my Friday. I know it's Thursday, but it's my Friday because it's my last episode for the week. But I got to tell y'all, today is my mom's birthday. And this is a pretty tough day for me right now. Normally I would be planning something for her birthday, which she never wanted us to plan anything for her birthday. And her picture is right here over my studio. And she would have been 74 today had she survived her illnesses. And it's tough, I feel like this whole year has been tough. We started off the new year. She was in the hospital. She went in the hospital on December the 27th, I think it was. And I never got a chance to talk to her after that day. Like I literally talked to her that day, and I never got a chance to talk to her again. And I didn't really even get a chance to see her because we were on lockdown because of the coronavirus. And she passed away on January 5th of this year. And every holiday, every milestone, every good thing, I'm just constantly reminded of how much I miss her and wish she was here. And today would have been her birthday, and I just want to wish her a happy birthday all the way in heaven. I miss you so very much, and I will love you forever. And I knew one day I would get to this point where I would have to say goodbye. I just wasn't ready. I don't think we're ever ready for goodbyes. And for me, this has got to be the toughest goodbye I've ever had to say. But Ev, I love you, baby, and I miss you so much. And happy birthday all the way to heaven. All right, guys, I'm not gonna stay on long with that because it's choking me up right now. And I got a great show planned for you. I got a great entrepreneur coming up. I call her the beauty boss. She doesn't even know it yet, but she is doing some amazing stuff in the beauty industry. And she's going to be my guest. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and give you your horoscopes for today, brought to you by noted astrologer Mike Thyssen. For today, May 27th. It's also my aunt's birthday. That's my grandmother's sister. My mother was born on her birthday. So happy birthday. We call her Annie. Her name is Fanny. Happy birthday, Annie, all the way in heaven. It's your birthday too. And boy, she and my mom were like the same person, and they got along so well. They were like all of the same traits and attributes. They were like the same person. And she was the one who, when my grandmother passed away, my aunt stepped in because she didn't have any grandkids. So when my grandmother passed away, my aunt stepped in, and my cousin Betty, who's my mother's cousin, her first cousin, she was my Aunt Fanny's only child, and she never had kids. So they stepped in to help my mom raise us while we were in Albany. And then when we got older, my mom moved us to Jersey, where I grew up. So happy birthday, Aunt Fanny, all the way to heaven as well. And happy birthday to my mom. Love you both forever, forever. All right, let's go ahead and get on with your horoscopes, brought to you by noted astrologer Mike Thyssen for today, Thursday, May the 27th. I'm going to kick it off like I always do, and that is with Aries. If it can make you extra cash, it will be even better. It won't take much to upset your lover. You can accomplish a great deal. Listen, try to do your best today, Aries, not to upset your lover. Whatever you can do to do that, try to do your best. But if it can make extra cash, that could be even better. Like, I don't know what it is, but if it can put some extra funds in your pocket, that could be better. Taurus, get ready to do some fancy footwork when it comes to taking care of your financial situation. You may find out that someone is trying to undermine you. If you are not already, think about going into business for yourself. Yeah, I know how I feel about business. If you have not already, think about it, but think real hard, Tars. Make sure it's something that you're going to be passionate about. Make sure it's something that you're going to get up and do no matter what happens. I was just on a mastermind call. I do mastermind calls every morning at 8 o'clock. And one young lady was saying how, she didn't have the support of her spouse and she was going to do it anyway. And she kept doing it. He had to go. So you got to make sure it's something that you're gonna put on the forefront. You're gonna be willing to make sacrifices for. So y'all know how I feel about the whole entrepreneur thing. I can go on and on about that, but I won't, because I got a great entrepreneur joining me today at 10:30, and I want to make sure you get a chance to hear this episode. She's a beauty boss, and she has done some tremendous things in the beauty and hair space. And so I can't wait to talk to her and let her share her story about how she's done what she's done and how you may be able to do it too, especially if you're in the beauty industry. Gemini, this would not be the best day to try to push your ideas or concerns. You will enjoy physical activities more than you think. Take care when dealing with older relatives. Yeah, you're going to enjoy physical activities more than you think. I know I got a bowling night. I thought today was going to be my last day for bowling. I thought I was going to get a break, and the new season starts next week. I'm like, I need a minute. Like, I needed at least a week, like, just to do nothing. And I still may take a week. I may take because when you're bowling, we're bowling for money. And so, it's kind of stressful because when you're trying to win. So it's a little bit stressful. So I was like, man, I get a break. And then look at the schedule and we start right back next week. So no break for us. So get out and get you some physical activities today. I'm Gemini. Cancer, your best gains will come through helping others emotionally. Your determination may make you a little overbearing when dealing with others. You won't be well received by superiors or by your spouse. You won't receive by superiors or by your spouse. All right, well, here's the thing. If you're not, try to get your point across, but do it delicately, be diplomatic, you don't want to piss anybody off. Yeah, and because now your determination makes you a little bit overbearing when dealing with others. All right. Leo, you need time to think things through. Get involved in philosophic groups that will enlighten you. Enlightenment is great. When I hear the word enlightenment, I automatically want to do my hands like this and start chanting. You won't have to look for the action. All right, Leo, you looking for action? You ain't got to look far because action is coming to you. You ain't even got to look for it. And get it. Look, philosophic. Become enlightened. Yeah. I'm gonna need some chakra healing when I get off this show. I got some stuff going on behind the scenes right now that's a little bit confusing. I'm gonna just need to hum. All right, Virgo. Don't be too quick to voice your opinion. Listen to others carefully. If you put your energy into physical outlets, you will avoid confrontations. Do what you can, but don't jeopardize your health trying to please everyone. Don't, Virgo, do not jeopardize your health trying to please everyone. Here's the thing, you can't please everybody. And that's sometimes we got to get that in our head. Sometimes you cannot please everybody. So don't jeopardize yourself trying to please everybody. All right? Don't do it. All right, I'm going to a song. I'll be right back after the song to bring you more of the horoscopes brought to you by Notary Astrologer Micah Thyssen. Stay tuned.
Just give it up. I'm not your girl and I never will be. Don't call me up. Don't waste your time, cause I'll be your enemy. If you want love, look somewhere else, here you'll find nothing. Just give it up. I'm not your girl, cause I only love me. Don't get me wrong, you and I could have fun together when I feel done with having fun on my own. It's better to care for yourself and rely on somebody else. So don't get me wrong, I'm just riding alone. Just run away, cause I got no intention of hanging out with you tonight. Don't look my way. If you want a problem, I'll give you a problem, alright? If you want love, just give it up. You got the wrong girl. You got the wrong, you got the wrong, you got the wrong girl. You got the wrong, you got the wrong, you got the wrong girl. This is my time. I'm feeling good, mood every party. See how I shine when I'm alone. Nothing can stop me. You should go out, be someone else, someone who gets you. Don't stick around. I'm pretty wild, I don't do monotony. Don't get me wrong, Go away, 'cause I got no intentions of hanging out with you tonight. Don't look my way. If you want a problem, I'll give you a problem, alright. If you want love, just give it up. You got the wrong girl. You got the wrong, you got the wrong, you got the wrong girl, girl. You got the wrong, you got the wrong, you got the wrong girl, girl.
Welcome back. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney, giving you daily horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Micah Thyssen. We're going to pick it up with Libra. You may be looking through rose-colored glasses. Trying to deal with your mate will be unproductive and possibly hurtful. Travel will enhance romance and adventure. So here's the thing. If you're trying to deal with them and it's going to be hurtful and unproductive, maybe you need to go on a trip. Libra, listen, maybe you need to pack them in a car, take them on an adventure. That's all I'm saying. That could help. Couldn't hurt, but it could help. Scorpio, it's time to reevaluate your motives. You can't make things better if you don't know what to fix. Try avoid being extravagant today. Listen, you can't make things better if you don't know what to fix. Here's the thing. Who are you trying to fix it with? Right? Is somebody in your circle? Is it somebody that you're trying to work with, you're trying to fix things with? You can't make it right if you can't fix it. I'm just trying to help you out. Sagittarius, go out shopping today. That sounds like fun, Sagittarius. A lack of support and negativity have been the main problems. Money may slip through your fingers. Go out and shop. Listen, be mindful. If you got it, then do it. Now, if you don't have it, be mindful of the money. Watch the coins. Capricorn, your input into their activities will help bring you closer together. Don't use emotional blackmail on someone you love. You may find a rare antique today. Yes, look for that rare antique. It could be the one that's worth a whole lot of dough, or it could be something you just want to keep. Like, I'm very sentimental, so if I found a rare antique, I probably would just hold it. I'm just like that, y'all. Like, I'd be like, I won't sell it. I'm not selling that. I'm keeping that. You know, my brother and I was having a conversation this morning about some property, and he was like, "Nah, gotta sell it. I'm keeping it. You know, I think I want to hold it." And he's like, "Nah, you gotta sell it." You know, and that happened before. My mom told me to sell some property before, and I didn't listen to her, and it bit us in the butt. So I don't know. I got to think it through. Aquarius, your mate could get on your nerves if he or she an emotional corner or put restrictions on your time. This will not be the time to give too much to your children. Don't spend too much in order to impress others. Listen, if you got to spend something to impress people, it's false, because you got to keep doing that. I remember I had a friend, matter of fact, he was the best man in my wedding. And he took us out. He was dating my other friend, my best girlfriend. She's like my daughter's godmother. He was dating her, and he took us to his restaurant. It was like the four of us. It was my husband, him, and her. And the bill was like almost $600. And I'm like, what? So I said to him, listen, whatever you do to get her, you got to do to keep her. Just know that. And so he tried, but after all of that, he did try. He took it to a restaurant where their meal alone was $400. And I was like, what the heck did you eat? You know, that's me all the time. And because I wouldn't say, well, maybe I am frugal. I used to be. I ain't gonna even lie. I didn't used to be frugal. I used to love to shop, but now I'm frugal. But anyway, I said to him, you got whatever you do to get her, you got to keep doing that to keep her. And so I said that, Aquarius, said, don't spend too much trying to impress people, because whatever you do to get them, you got to keep doing that to keep them. Even with friends, if you try to impress your friends by spending all the time, every time you go out, they expect you to pick up the check. So whatever you do to get them, you got to do that to keep them. Last but not least, my fellow fish Pisces, your intellectual wit will bring greater popularity with your peers. You could be drawn to events that concern children. You may not have the same ideas when it comes to what you both enjoy. Yeah, I can understand that, because what I like, and it's so funny, because what I like, my husband normally does not like, but he'll come along. And you know, the crazy thing is he never does anything, period. So I don't know what he really likes. You would think after 20 years I would know. I don't know, because I know he likes to fish. You know, that's what I do know. And I will go sometimes. But yeah, chances are y'all not going to like the same thing. And that's okay. You know, and you don't have to force your ideas on anybody, Pisces. You know, you don't. You have to accept them for where they are. They need to accept you for where you are, and y'all just move forward. Like, your ideas may not be something that they share in. That's cool. You got to be okay with that. That's what they were talking about on the mastermind this morning. Like I dated this guy and I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. And he's like, girl, you got to get a job, like a real job. And I heard somebody say that on the mastermind. And I was like, I'm an entrepreneur to the day they put me in the box. And I feel like that because this is the life and this is the life that I love. So the person that's with me, I ain't trying to push it on you, but you need to understand that this is what it is. So yeah, so just know that. All right, that's all the horoscopes I got for today. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. to give you more of the horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Micah Thyssen. Another crazy killing. I mean, senseless. My family goes out to the people in California who lost loved ones to the horrific crime that happened where 8 people were killed. And what was crazy is this guy, they said the guy knew everybody. Like he knew them. Like, how do you go in and kill people that you know? Like, were they mad? Was he mad at him? He was an employee of Valley Transportation. He's dead. He has been identified as Sam Cassidy, a law enforcement with knowledge of the investigation confirmed on CNN. So my condolences goes out to the family and the friends of the people that were lost in this senseless shooting. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. No, his name was I take that back. His name was Jake Trapper. Wait, it says his name was, the shooter name was Jake Trapper. And he was no stranger to the people that he shot. He just shot them. His name was Jake Trapper. I had to go back and change that. But anyway, my family goes out to all of those people. I mean, it's so sad. I mean, you got people anywhere from 29 to 63 that lost their life to a senseless crime that made absolutely no sense. I don't understand. Like, I know we're under a lot of stress, but I just think that it's crazy how, I don't know. I don't even want to get to the whole sad thing right now because everything is so sad. But anyway, Gwinnett school is out. School is out. And for some of the children, that means they may not have a hot meal, but not in Gwinnett County. The academic school year is over. It ended yesterday, but the school district said, you know what? We're going to feed our kids over the summer. So because some of the kids go to school and that's the only time they really get a chance to eat. And our school system knows that. So they said because of that, we have already decided that we are going to be having pop-up locations that families can come by locally and get sourced meat or fish, eggs, milk, non-dairy substitute, cereal, pantry staples, and fresh vegetables for free. Yep, for free. And this is Gooder. Oh my God, Jasmine Crow with Gooder. Gooder is going to be a part of this. Jasmine Crow, if you don't know who she is, she's an entrepreneur who is feeding people here in Georgia. And she's known around the world right now. So go look up Gooder, Goddr. Her name is Jasmine Crow, and she's the founder and CEO of Gooder. And she's doing some amazing things and helping a lot of people, including families right here in Gwinnett County. The pop-up locations can each serve up to 200 families. So they're going to have pop-ups around the county. It can serve up to 200 families. They will run from a day a day at Lenore Park. There's going to be one pop-up at Sweetwater Park, Freeman's Mill Park, and Bryson Park. So for more about that information about that story, go to AJC.com and you'll see it there. Right now, the partnership will deliver 850 snack packs for children to 37 schools, according to Gooder. The initiative run through Saturday. So, that is one of the downsides of the kids not going to school, is being able to have a meal, because a lot of them go to school and that's the only time they really get a chance to eat. So Gooder and her partners have said, you know what, we're gonna try to head this off like right now. The Gwinnett Summer Meals program begins June 1st. That's next week. So also providing free grab and go breakfast and lunches for children at 25 locations, including the county parks and libraries. So Gooder is doing their part, but our Gwinnett Summer Meals program is also doing their part, and that's going to start on June 1st. Gooder is starting this week, and it's going to run through Saturday, and then the Summer Meals program picks up on June 1st. So let me tell you, they want to make sure our kids are taken care of. But if you want to hear more about that story and more about the park locations, go to AJC.com and go on the local, and you'll see the story there. I think, matter of fact, let's give them a round of applause for making sure our kids eat. So, when the whole pandemic popped off, one of the things they were trying very, very hard to do was to protect our elders in senior citizen centers. and facilities because they were the most vulnerable at that time. And so they want to make sure that they were good. But right now, Snellville's older residents can once again have a dedicated space to spend time with one another and participate in recreational activities. That's so cool. The Snellville Senior Center will return to regular hours starting June 14th, more than 1 year after being closed to COVID-19. And that's good because now you can get out and kind of start living again. I know some people are still very afraid of, the pandemic, and as they should be, but prayerfully, if you got your vaccine and you're healthy, you'll be okay, and you can go out and kind of mingle with your friends. The Oak Grove facility started to gradually reopen on May 1st as restrictions eased. When fully open, the center hours will be 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, and with a slight reduction in normal programming and special events. So they won't have as much stuff going on, but the center will be open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 p.m. So now the seniors can get together, they can see their friends. Prayerfully, a lot of their friends return, and nobody, was a casualty to the coronavirus. That's my prayer. And they get to see them because, I was quarantined with a house full of folks. Like my house was always full of people, and I still felt lonely because I couldn't get out and mingle with my entrepreneur friends. Like my family, I love them for life, but my entrepreneurial friends, where I can go to the networking events, we could talk business, that was a little bit different. And so I felt like alone, even though I was in a house full of people all the time. And so, I'm glad that they're going to be able to get back to some type of normal, and have some fun with their friends. That's important. I don't care what anybody says. Being around people and being connected to people is really important. All right, so the Boy Scouts of America Northeast Georgia Council hosted the Gwinnett American Values Dinner on the 20th at the Infinite Energy Center, honoring 3 community leaders for their exceptional service. Yes, this year's honorees included Beauty Baldwin, the first African-American woman to serve as a superintendent of the Georgia school system at Beaufort City Schools in Gwinnett County. It also included Jay Dennert, the chief operating officer at Northside Hospital, Gwinnett, and Dennis Steele, recently retired municipal court judge for the city of Lawrenceville. So congratulations to all of you guys. Listen, when good work is recognized, it's good to show the people some love. When you do good work, you get rewarded for that. So the dinner was co-chaired by Doug Jenkins, regional director of Metro North at Georgia Power, and the keynote speech on community service and mentorship was given by Charlotte Nash, who is our former chairwoman here, commissioner chairwoman here in Gwinnett County, which is now held by Nicole Love Henderson. So congratulations to all of our winners for that. All right, I'm going to a song. I'll be back after this song to give you more. Hopefully my guests will be in by then, so stay tuned.
I am stuck in the middle. Yeah, I'm stuck in between. I'm stuck in the position. I'm just a machine. So you're stuck in the middle. I guess we're stuck in between. Life is a riddle, yeah. And I don't know what it means, no. This is what it feels like. But you're not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. Let's share out and hitchhike. There is nothing we can't do. Baby, as long as I got you. I'm gonna open up my eyes this time. Open my heart and do it with a smile. I'm gonna love. Give me your love. You're stuck in the middle. Yeah, you're stuck in between. Things can only get better if you know what I mean. Once in the air, you realize what you want, the things that you dream of, and the things that you don't know. This is what it feels like. 'cause I'm just like you. Let's share a ride and hitchhike. There is nothing we can't do. Ooh, baby, as long as I got you. Ooh, I'm gonna open up my eyes this time. Open my heart and do it with a smile. I'm gonna love. Give me your love. I'm gonna open up my eyes this time. Open my heart and do it with a smile. I'm gonna love. Give me your love.
Welcome back. So listen, guys, I'm excited to have my guest on me this morning. She is I call her, she don't even know this yet, but I call her the beauty boss. Like if you go to her website, she is doing some amazing things. And I'm so happy to talk to her. And I could tell you about just meeting people. Like I was totally burnt out from virtual. Like I don't do anything virtual. I am completely burned out. However, I started listening to a podcast called Social Proof and fell in love with Social Proof because I felt like it was a podcast that really talks about, give you like the real down and dirty about entrepreneurship. And I've been doing this for a long time. And so when I got a chance to sit there and watch some of the interviews, I learned about a program, a morning meetup, which I'm a morning person. So I joined the morning meetup, and that's where I met Tomeka. And so I'm happy to have her as my guest today. Listen, this woman is, if you go to her website, I was on her website. I could have spent about 2 hours just on her website. She's a beauty boss. She is the owner of Tomeka's Beauty Salon, which is crazy, is that we both lived in Maplewood, New Jersey before we escaped. No, I'm not saying escaped. I'm just kidding. Before we left Jersey. She's also the founder of the Stylist and Salon Owner Network, which I think that's pretty cool. And I want to know more about what that is. And she is doing some amazing thing, helping people learn how to manage their business and grow their business and just pivot outside of the industry and do other things. She has a lot going on. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Miss Tomeka James to the Good Morning Gwinnett show. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, girl, thank you for being here. I'm so impressed with all of the great things that you do. So Tomeka is in Florida?
Yes, now I am. Yeah.
In Florida. So when I first saw the number, it said 973. I was like, wait a minute, she's in Jersey. Not only did she used to live in Jersey, we lived in the same town in Jersey, in Maplewood. My house was in Maplewood. She lived in Maplewood. And it was crazy because I was born in Georgia, but I grew up in Newark. And so as I, when you get older, you want to do a little bit better. And so I kind of moved through the ranks of the Essex County, because I never lived outside of Essex County. I was always in Essex somewhere. And I landed in when I moved to North Carolina, moved back to Jersey. And when I came back, I bought a house in Maplewood. Right at the bomb, when everything just blew up, I was buying a house in that mess, and I was caught up in there. So thank you again for being my guest today. So how's your weather down there? Is it hot? Because it's hot here in Georgia today.
It's hot, but it's so beautiful.
What part of Florida are you in?
So I'm right near Miami.
Okay. Oh, I'll be down there next month. I'll be in Miami next month. My daughter's having her birthday. We were supposed to be in Mexico. We had booked everything to go to Tulum, and we were all set to go. It looks beautiful. We were set to go, and we got one of my friends who was going with me. She's an attorney. She used to work for the government. She got some kind of special notification saying don't go, and she's like, yeah, it was crazy. She's like, we can't go. And I was like, why? What happened? She said, we can't go. So she sent me this government thing that she gets because she was in the government. And it was like, don't go. We can't protect you if you go over there. Our government can't protect you. Even though we have the embassies and everything, they were like, we can't protect you. So it was like 6 of us going. We had to cancel the reservation. And so now we're going to Miami. So it's pretty crazy.
Well, listen, come on down. It's beautiful here. I love to catch up with you.
Yes, that would be
just
great.
Like It's going to be just like you're going to Mexico. I'm going to tell you, I was getting ready to go to Mexico about a month and a half ago, and I was not sure if the trip was going to happen due to things like what you're talking about.
Right.
And I said to myself, I don't even care if I don't go because I live here in Miami. So it's like I'm already on vacation. So it's no big deal. So you'll be
isn't
fine.
it cool to live in a place where you feel like you're on vacation every day? I've been to Miami, but I got to tell you, I went to Miami about 3 years ago for my birthday, which is in February. So every time I come to Florida for my birthday, it's cold. And the people are like, we don't know why it's so cold. It was cold both times. And my daughter, we're going to go to the beach. No, it was cold. We had on sweaters the entire time, except for the last day. It was beautiful. But we were coming home. It was crazy. So, and I went to Tampa this year because I was supposed to have been going. The Tulum trip was originally supposed to be my birthday. My daughter and my mom planned it last year for me to go for my birthday in February. My mom passed in January from COVID. And then they told us we couldn't go. So we canceled and they was like, let's go to Florida. And because my daughter loved the water, let's go to Florida. We went to Tampa because my friend said it's beautiful in Tampa, go to Tampa. And it was gorgeous. So then I was like, well, since we didn't go for my birthday, we'll go for your birthday. So let's plan it again. I was like, okay, that's a sign that we're not supposed to go to Mexico no time soon. So we just going to stay in the United States right now. So anyway, I can talk about that crap all day, but I won't. So listen, you are doing some amazing things in the beauty space. My daughter did a what is it called? Micro link in my hair. Micro linking, right?
Yeah, micro linking.
Yeah. Class. I know you give a ton of class, and she did micro linking. Listen, I'm one of those people who can't really sleep in a scarf because it does something to my head. Like I feel like I can't sleep, like I'm contained. But she put micro links in my hair, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, so how did you get into the beauty industry?
I was about 12 years old. And
wow.
One of the things I always loved to do was to make people smile. So that was where it all started. And I just started kind of playing around. And I was back then creating techniques and things because I just loved it. So I did it every day and I just played in hair. And I actually didn't really play on dolls too much. I played on people, honestly. I actually had a few dolls, but I really started out on people, honestly. Yeah.
And so when you were 12 years old and you said, you know what, I like hair, but what made you decide when you became a grown-up that I want to do this as a profession? Because a lot of times we don't know what we want to do. Like I didn't figure out what I want to do till I was 40 years old. And it was like, not 40. I think I was 33. I was 33 and I'm going full into this thing. But you said I've been doing this since 12. What made you decide, you know what, I'm going to stay in this space and keep moving towards what my dream, my passion?
Because it was my passion. It was something that came easy to me. I was the person in hair school that was helping the teacher. So, it was like, it was so natural to me to the point that all I needed school for was to really get my certificate, to learn everything that was in the books. But the rest of it was completely natural to me. So I just loved it. And it was just a dream of mine. I had 3 things I actually wanted to do when I was a child. One was to do something in fashion because I wanted to be a fashion designer. I wanted to make clothes. So I took classes to do that. Decided that's not really what I want to do. I even made my prom dress, made other people's prom dresses. But I was like, nah, okay, tried it. That's not really it. I also thought about something in computer technology because my mom was in that arena. Tried it, went to school for it, did some college for it. Maybe, but the beauty industry was where I landed. But the crazy thing is that's where I landed. But fast forward to today, I just closed my salon recently, very recently. And I just completely shifted out of the salon. So
how was that feeling when you closed the salon? How long did you run the salon first of all? How long did you run the salon?
My first salon that I had was in 1997 was the first place I had. Then I had a second salon. So I had 2 salons at the same time for just a short period of time. Decided I don't really want to do this 2 salon thing. Then I ended up closing that one. And then I had that location. Then I had another location. And then I had a third location. Right? Or third or fourth, something like that. And I ended up, so from 97 all the way until just the end of last year, all of those years.
Wow. Now, how was that feeling when you decided, you know what? I don't want to be in this space anymore. This is a space that you've loved since you were 12 and you've been in it for a long time. How was it feeling to leave? Like, I feel like I would have, if someone told me I could be an entrepreneur, I think I would just have anxiety attacks or something.
Yeah, there was some anxiety initially, but I'll tell you, it was like this. You don't just walk away from anything. So anyone that's like even in corporate and they want to start their own business, you don't just walk away. So like there's this buildup of feelings and you begin to see your life differently. So right now I'm 45. So I've had some years already, you know, that I've lived on this earth and experienced a lot of different things. And I just got to the point where I realized one day that I had been standing up for over 20 years. Like literally, I would go to the salon and just stand up. I was like, how the heck did I pick a profession where I literally would just get up in the morning and just stand all day? Like, why did I do that? You know? So I realized that and I was like, I don't want to stand anymore. There's so much more to me. Over the years, I was actually doing a lot of different things. So I've never been just a stylist in a salon. So I wasn't that person. I've done so many different things, a trade show. I was coaching. I was educating around the world. I created hair extension techniques. I did all of these different things while being behind the chair. So by the time I got to the conclusion, which COVID really was a culprit, COVID gave me the chance to close the salon because I was in New Jersey at the time when COVID really hit, right? So they were like, I was in the salon that last day. It was like March the 20th or something, like 20th or 21st. There was a message that went, viral that said every salon in New Jersey has to close today, not tomorrow, not next week, today at 8 p.m. That's it. So when I got that message, I was like, oh, wow. I was already feeling weird about still being in the salon and I was kind of getting tired. I just stopped really like looking for new clients. I just didn't do all of the things that you should be doing to keep that business, elevating. And when I got that message, I went home. I got nervous because I'm like, what else am I going to do? How is this going to go? And then as the days went on, as the weeks went on, and then it became months, I realized I like being home. I like coaching. I love being in the on the internet and assisting people right here from my computer. I'm changing lives right here. The thing that I always love to do: impact, change lives, help people, all of those things. And I was like, this is beautiful. I don't want to go back in that salon. I'm done. It's a wrap.
Oh, so now, and I could definitely understand it because I think when you think about the salon, I thought about, let me tell the industries that I thought about that got hit really hard. The salon industry. I haven't gone back to a salon myself in 2 years. Like I had what's this? This is 21. I think the last time I went was in December of 19. And I haven't gone back because right after that, I had to go speak at the podcast conference in Florida. And I had just opened up my podcast studio. It was called The Noise Factory. And I'm like, oh yeah. So we had just opened and I came back and everything just shut down. But when I look at the industries that I felt like took a hit outside of food, I said to someone, what did the lipstick industry do? Because now we're walking around, we're not putting on makeup. That's one. When we put on a mask, there's no need to put on lipstick because it just rubs it off. So I thought about that industry, but I also thought about the beauty industry, the hair salon, because here in Georgia, it's like hair salons everywhere and it's a major industry down here. And I was like, man, they took a hit. But you, my friend, you were able to pivot because you were already doing things in that space, the training and development. I looked at your bio and the things you've trained on. And listen, y'all, I didn't tell you this, but she has a patent pending for a device for hair. Talk about that for a second.
So one day I had a client that came back and she kept saying, I want my weave to be like this and like this and like this. So I would service her like every month and a half or so, take it out, put it back. But I would give her exactly what she wanted. So I was very confused as to why is she asking me this? And is there something else I need to be doing about this situation? So I kind of I already created one technique to create a mold of the head to make wigs for someone who's not present, because people normally use a measuring tape to measure. So I created this other technique, and then I made a spin-off on that one. So what I ended up doing was finding a way to make the mold of her head and make her weave, not a wig. So a weave is basically like let's say you leave like some of your hair out, and then you put the braids underneath, and then you sew the hair on. So the location where the braids are, I wanted to create a unit just for that location, wherever the braids will be located. And it would be something that you would make just for that spot on the head. And then you'd let the client come in, attach that unit after you've made it, and they wear it for several weeks. They can get shampooed in between. And then when it's time for a new weave, instead of them starting completely from scratch, you remove that whole unit that you made just for them, clean it, rebraid them, and then reapply it. So the process is much faster. Also, whatever hair cutting and styling that you did, it's all already there, or placement of colors or whatever, it's there. So the client gets the same exact unit that they had over and over for several months until like their hair is no good. So out of frustration with the client, I created that technique, which is called DSW, detachable sewn weave.
Wow.
Yeah, it's taken me around the world, which has been beautiful. You know, went to Paris because of it, and so many other places as well.
That is so cool. You know, my daughter, is so funny because she, like you, has been doing hair since she was about 10, right? But when it was time for her to do it professionally, she's like, I don't think I can do it professionally because she couldn't deal with all the attitudes of the people. And I was like, so whenever I need like something quick and nice, and she's good. Like I told you, she put the micro links in. I was like, man, I love this thing. This is great because it felt like my hair. But when I asked her about it as a profession, like, so she went to college. And I was like, you should have done hair. And she's like, yeah, but you know, I can't deal with people with their attitudes. How have you been able to manage that whole client, professional customer service piece when you were in the business? Because I know that could be a little touchy. You know, we, especially Black folks, we crazy about our hair. We want it this way, that way, and you know, and if it don't turn out, we're mad. How did you manage to have great customer service throughout your years as a salon owner?
Oh, that's a great question. So the average stylist just jumps in and they just do hair, right? But I took people skills classes early on in my career. And I learned a lot of things about working with people, understanding their different moods, understanding different personalities, learning how to match, you know, what a person is like, the energy that they're giving. So there's a lot of things that actually have to be done. Like there's this one thing, like, especially with doing a consultation. So when you first meet a person, you basically match yourself to them. So if they speak faster, you speak faster. They speak slow, you speak slow. So you match what's going on to make them comfortable. And also if someone's crossing their arms, or if they're standing, or if they're sitting, if they're sitting, you don't want to stand over them because you're becoming like superior to them, and you want to kind of bring yourself down to their level, even though you're the professional. So there were things I learned about people skills that has assisted me. So, you know, learning how to say someone's name and remember it because it's really important to people. Understanding that people are dealing with a lot of things and that you have to just, you know, put yourself in a position to listen. And then there's a moment when you respond and there are times when you don't. So I learned all of these things early on to be able to deal with people, which has, you know, put me in a position to be able to be a coach to help other people with things like this. And also to be that salon owner that I was, because I couldn't really you're talking about dealing with the clients, but you have to deal with the staff too, you know? So there was a lot. Yeah.
So you had a staff. How many people did you have in your staff?
The largest staff that I had was 11 that I ever had, was 11 at one time. But I also had a weave team, which is another part of my career. I would train weave artists who wanted to travel with me because I did a lot of trade shows and educated people all over the world. So they got on my team and I trained them, and then I would send them off to do classes in different places, or they would join me at the trade shows. So the largest that my team ever was like 50 people at one time. And then right before COVID, there were like 26.
Wow. Now, one of the things I know about loyalty when it comes to any industry. It's like the hair industry could be loyal, but you can also have some disloyal people. And I found that when I would go to a salon, I'm loyal. Like if you do my hair right, I ain't going nowhere. But I will find that I would go there and there would be different technicians there. Like I was like, what happened to such and such? And they're gone. Why is it so much attrition amongst the staff members at a salon? Because I've been to quite a few salons since I've been in Georgia, and I go there and there's 6 people, and I go back and it's 2. And I go there and it's 5 people, and I go back and it's 3. I'm like, well, what happened to such and such? Like, oh girl, you don't want to know. And so it's like a big turnover in trying to keep people in the salon. Why do you think that is?
I would say years ago, it had to do with the salon owner and how they actually dealt with their employees. Like, were the employees actually getting what they actually needed? So in some cases, they just weren't satisfied with the structure or with the location or certain things. And then, you know, if they didn't know how to handle staff like conflict, where there are 2 people who couldn't get along. So I've actually had a staff member that left because of another staff member, you know, in the past. So things like that occur. So I would say like years ago, that would be more so the case. But most recently, if someone comes out of school or whatever and they go to work for someone, they quickly realize that, especially if they're on commission or something, that they want their own money. So now they find, oh, here's the big thing, the suites. The suites came about several years ago, and instead of people all being together in the salon, working together, they started to actually go and get their own place because they feel like I can keep all of my money. Kind of sad because it's good and bad, because the good part is that, yeah, you will keep more of your money. But the bad part is when you work in an environment with other people, you learn from your peers. You connect with them. Sometimes you even gain new clients from your other the other people that work in the salon, but people don't see that. So they basically, I want to be my own boss, and then they just go in these suites and hide away and kind of fade away sometimes too, because they don't know what they do.
When I was in Jersey, you know what Brick Church is, right, over in East Orange?
Yes.
There was a salon there, and it was owned by this guy, but his girlfriend used to run it. When I tell you she was horrible, she was so horrible, she ran the salon in the ground. And I was like, because it was first of all, the customer service was bad, right? And I think I might have gone, but the girl who did my hair was nice. But when you looked around the room, I was like, and so I'm an entrepreneur, so I look at stuff like customer service. And like you, I had professional training. Like I worked in financial services with Prudential for a minute, and you had to have great customer service working for them. So they sent you off the customer service training. And so I'm looking out, I would go there and look around the room, and I'm like, she is horrible. Like she was horrible. She was horrible to the guests. She was horrible to the staff. The staff was horrible to the guests. The staff was horrible to each other. It was crazy. And she ran it in the ground to the point where it closed. And so I understand exactly what you mean when you say, you know what, you got to take care of your staff too. She didn't take care of anybody. She walked around Tomeka every day. She was dressed up from head to toe. All she did was walk around. All you would see her doing was walking around. You didn't see her do anything. Like they had a receptionist. It was crazy. It was like, I'm queen bee here, and you're gonna follow my rules or not. And the place folded. And so management, I think, is a big thing when it comes to a lot of companies. But managing people, how did you manage all the different personalities? Because you got some people that's like, you know, they could be the best stylists in the world, but they'll look cuckoo on the other side. How did you manage all those different personalities?
Well, managing all of the personalities, basically, I had staff meetings, regular staff meetings. So if anything happened that needed to be like that, we needed to catch, it would be caught. So I also encourage all of my staff to talk to me. So if there's an issue between 2 people, if they're just having a personal issue, to come to me. I also took the time to learn their personalities. And I also understood that each person that comes in, I cannot manage them the same way. So they could be in 2 stations next to each other, and I cannot talk to these 2 people the same way. You just can't handle people the same way. So managing is all about understanding how to communicate and also not being the one that's the overbearing person. And another thing with management is to set your rules and your SOPs, standard operating procedures, and put those things in place so that when people already know what to expect, they're less likely to violate. And then when they do, there's already something in place. So for instance, I had something like if my staff was late, I didn't want them to be late because we're here for these clients. So I put something in place where they would get docked. So we don't need to have a conversation when you're late because you already know what's going to happen.
Right.
So having those things in place makes a big difference. And other things in there in regards to people's actions and their communications, you're talking about like their personalities. These things, if you write these things up, it's easier to deal with.
That makes so much sense. I'm sitting here saying to myself, boy, I'm trying to get a staff this year, so I need to make sure that stuff is in place, because that makes so much sense, because now you don't have to. And I think for any business owner, especially if you plan on bringing on staff, you need to have. My husband works in pharmaceutical, and he's the author of so many SOPs at his job. Like he's constantly doing something, like adding something to the SOP, editing that. He's constantly doing that, and because he's a team lead. And so what you're saying, I think, is spot on. So because when you think about what if something happens, if you have the foresight to say, you know what, let's put this down right now before it happens. And a lot of times that comes from experience or somebody else's horror story. Like, oh God, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. Let me put that in my SOPs. I can see that happening. So that's pretty cool, because I've seen horror stories like, ooh, I don't want that to happen to me, but I haven't put it in an SOP. Now I'm thinking I need to start SOPs like right now, because I'm bringing on more teams. Yeah, like right now. So that's pretty cool.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. So now, there are a lot of people who love this industry and they want to come out, they want to do their own thing. What is some of the advice that you would give? Because I know you're a coach now, and you're helping a lot of people in this industry. I just love all the trainings on your website, and that's another conversation. But right now, there are still people who say, you know what, I love this space. This is my gift. I want to go full blown into the space. What is some of the advice you would give them coming out of school right now, or starting their own salon right now? They're sweet, because I love the sweets now. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was such a cool concept. Like, I'm looking at it from the real estate side, like that's really a cool concept. But that's another story. What advice would you give them starting out?
Starting out, just understand that you're gonna have to continuously be educated. So whether someone stipulates that you have to get CEU hours, continued education hours, whether someone says you have to do that or not, that's something that you need to focus on. So as I said earlier, I took all of these additional trainings that made me who I am today. So just making sure you're taking business courses, things for technology, because that's still ruling the world. So yeah, it's all about working on a client in front of you. But at the end of the day, technology, you can't get away from it. I mean, we used to write our appointments in a book. And then, as time went on, we started to do our bookings online. So that's one thing. Make sure you have an online booking system. Make sure that you're continuously training yourself. Connect yourself with someone who has had some success, so that you can have someone to bounce ideas off of that can sort of be like a mentor to you. Also study people who have had success. So don't just think you're just going to go and start working. Like, find out why they had success and emulate some of those things. And I'd also say to make sure that you don't rush anything. So I know it looks good okay, I just got out of school and now I want to teach, which is what a lot of people want to do. They want to like start creating all of these classes and things. Make sure that you know your stuff before you put yourself in that position. So you don't want to say that you're an authority on something and you're not, and take people's money. And study your craft and stay in it. Mannequins, play on your mannequins, try out whatever you learn, and practice makes perfect. And just keep going and never give up. Those are some of the things I would say as for an entrepreneur just getting started in the beauty industry. Yeah.
I want to go back to something you said. Couple of things you said. First of all, I want to go back to you said find somebody who's doing it, who's been successful. You know, a lot of time people don't want to share information. Like they feel like if I share information with you, I'm creating competition for myself. How do you find a mentor if that's the attitude of most people? And that's the attitude of a lot of people. I've always found that people who are uber successful, they don't mind sharing. It's the ones that's like, I'm right here, I'm successful, but I'm not uber successful, so I'm not going to tell you. I remember I wrote a book, and this was years ago, and I wanted to talk about marketing. Like it was an entrepreneurship, but it was all about marketing, right? It was called From the Home Front. And I said to the women, listen, we want to help entrepreneurs learn how to market. So we're going to put this in a book for them. There were women who told me, I'm not sharing my secrets on how to market. I'm like, why? Why wouldn't you? This is my thing. Why wouldn't you? They're like, no, I'm not doing that. So there are a lot of people who feel like if I share information, you know, it's taken away from me. But as a new person coming up, like they need the information. How do they find a mentor that's willing to share with them and not feel threatened by them as competition?
Okay, I have two parts to this answer. One is that finding a mentor can be kind of tough because if someone is very busy, it can be really tough for them to hold someone's hand. Mm-hmm. So some have created programs, which like for myself, I have programs where you can sign on with me. And, you know, so it is tough. Now I said, there's still two parts. I'm still on the first part. First part, finding a mentor. You may not necessarily want to just walk up and say, hey, mentor me. The thing is to come and add value to that person. Mm-hmm. So I've had several people who have come under my wing because they added value to me. So I'm already over here, I'm busy, and I don't mind sharing information with you. But let's be honest, if I'm a busy person, I don't necessarily have time for 20 people to come in to my space where I'm really busy for me to mentor you and deal with all of these individual things that you're dealing with. So that can be tough. So come in and add value. So you might come in and you might be under me and you're going to help me to sweep the floor or to make phone calls for me or to do some social media for me or something that you can add that may not necessarily be the thing that you think that you can add. So it may be something that, maybe I need video editing or something. Come in where you fit in. And now that you're here, I can assist you because we may be having some other conversations. So that's one way to come in and add value. The other thing is sometimes you just have to pay to play. So if you're looking for someone who's going to assist you, you might just have to pay to play. So you sign on to people who are doing well. They have programs and, for like myself, I have over 90 instructional videos on one platform. And then I have probably over 50 on another platform after a certain point in time. So 9 times out of 10, you ask me a question, I probably could refer you to one of the videos where I've either done a technique or I brought people on board that spoke about those answers to the things that you're looking for. So there may be something somewhere. So hopefully that's helpful.
That was very helpful. A lot of times people don't want to invest in themselves. I spent a ton of money investing in myself. I had to go back and say, okay, I spent so much money, Tomeka, so I had to go back and say, now what program am I in right now? So I had to list all the stuff that I paid for, like, okay, and then some of the stuff I just need to delete because I don't even have time to go back and trainings, right? It's crazy. And I played this, I won't even get to the kind of money I've spent. But anyway, there are a lot of young people who are coming out right now and they're saying, I don't have the money to invest in myself. I just got through school. I'm not making any money. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, that's the person that has to go in and add value to another person. Yeah. Everyone has some sort of value. So like I said, if it's not that, okay, so if you're looking to connect with someone in the beauty industry and you don't have the skills, so you're trying to get these skills, you may not come to the person, let me help you, let me service your clients. You're not going to say that. You may say, well, do you need someone to braid the hair under the weave? Because that may be one thing. So you can come in and do some of the work that people can't really see. Or like I said, they may come in and do like, maybe I can assist you with making sure your social media things are being posted. So maybe they're young and they understand that world. So whatever skill you have, you come and you, first of all, study the person to see where there is a gap, where they may need you. and then you jump in that space. That's the easiest way. Sometimes people ask, they just flat out ask, can you mentor me? That's tough because sometimes the mentor has to tell you no. But I will tell you this, I ended up developing an answer for that. And my answer was, at this moment in time, I'm very, very busy. I'm traveling a lot and I'm not really able to take on someone. So there is a program that I offer where I can schedule time with you, or there are instructional videos. So I would kind of like let them down easy like that if I don't have the time. And there are times when a person just slips right through the crack and they get the mentor based upon something, maybe a conversation they had. So another thing is to be in the right place at the right time, shaking hands and rubbing elbows, because you never know if you go somewhere and you connect. I've had people that have started to work with me because I've done a trade show. So I might be somewhere in California, right? And here I am. I end up like not having enough staff with me. People see that. And then someone comes up and they say, Tomeka, do you need help? Can I assist you? So if I'm doing sales or something, they'll write the receipts up and they'll maybe pack up stuff for me, or they'll help me pack my stuff up to get out of a classroom. And I get to know them. We're walking back to my booth. Hey, what's your name? Thank you for helping. So you never know how they you can fit it. Yeah. It's a lot of different ways. Yeah,
it is a lot of different ways, and it's so cool. So I know we got to go because we got to do part 2 of this on the flip side, and so yes. But I want to keep it. But I think what you're doing is amazing. I think when people feel good, when they look good, they feel good. And I can tell you, I've been a chunky chick my entire life, but when my hair was done, it's like, listen, I'm feeling great, and so I love the fact that you're empowering women not only to be their own beauty boss. I love that. I don't know if anybody stole that yet, but you might want to check that out. I like that whole. I was like, she's a freaking beauty boss. Not only are you empowering other beauty bosses, you're also helping people feel good about who they are, which is so cool. I got to tell you this one story. The girl that used to shampoo my hair, she wanted to do hair, but she didn't have. She was an apprentice. She didn't have a license yet. She was the best shampooer in the place. And I didn't want anybody else to shampoo my head but her. She got just as much money as a tip as my stylist. And she knew every product on the shampoo shelf. She knew my head. She knew what kind of scalp I had. Listen, she was the absolute best. And I'm saying to myself, you are good right where you are. And when I would go there and she wasn't there, I'm like, where's Alicia? They're like, she's not here today. I'm like, oh my God, who's gonna shampoo my hair? This is me. Who's gonna shampoo my hair? And it's like, and then the other person gonna be just barely touching. She was the best shampoo ever. So like you said, you got to get in where you fit in. But here's the thing, when you get in there, be the best at that. If you got a shampoo right now, be the best shampoo ever. I went to a fair one time in Raleigh. It was a big fair. We went to public bathrooms are disgusting, and I hate using them. We go to the public bathroom. That bathroom was spotless. And it was the fair. The bathroom was spotless. It smelled amazing. I walked in, my cousin and I was like, I couldn't believe it was a public. It was like somebody's bathroom in their house. That woman was singing and cleaning. And I was like, ma'am. And I had to tell her, ma'am, this is the cleanest public bathroom I have ever been in. Because she said, you know what? That's my job. And when I tell you spotless, it was spotless. So I want to thank you. How can people listen? I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna let her tell you how to reach out to her. But I'm telling you, if you're trying to be a beauty boss, you gotta reach out to her and you gotta check out her website. When she says she has 90 classes, if I was in the hair space, I'll be able to take in all her classes. I suck though. I'm not even that. I feel like stylists are artists, so that would not be me. How can they reach out to you?
All right, so my IG is Tomeka James. My name just the way it's spelled, TOMEKAJAMES. And I also have another IG page that I just started not too long ago, which is Coach Tomeka James, because that's basically where I am right now, coaching and assisting any entrepreneur with planning, strategizing, and organizing. So I've expanded my territory and I assist all sorts of entrepreneurs with building their businesses, planning projects and things of that nature. So my website still is tomekasbeauty.com. There is a tomekajames.com. It's up, but there's some things I want the people who are building that site to do. But so I can be reached on one of those websites. And I think that's pretty much, and my Facebook and everything is Tomeka James, basically, and Tomeka's Beauty. So I can be found on all of those platforms. Yeah, all the platforms. Yeah.
Miss Beauty Boss, thank you so much for being my guest here today on Good Morning Gwinnett. It has been a plum please pleasure to have you and sharing this wisdom about how to become a beauty boss and all the things that you've gone through. Listen, we could have went on for, but like I said, we got another interview on the other side. That's why, because this interview, I have so many questions still left. I know I can't ask them right now. She'll come back hopefully when she has time. She's a busy woman, but I hope she'll come back and when she has more time, because I want to talk about how she was able to pivot. Now she's doing all these amazing online trainings and webinars and things like that. We didn't get a chance to discuss that, but hopefully you'll come back and we'll discuss that next time.
Yes, I sure will. And I would love to talk about that because that's where a lot of people are right now, pivoting. Yeah.
That's what they're pivoting.
Yeah, I love to come back.
I would love to have you. So what I'll do is I'll reach back out to you and I'll talk to you in a few minutes. And so listen, thank you again. I appreciate it so much.
All right. Thank you too. This has been a great interview. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. All right, listen, guys, I'm going to my last song for the day, and I'll come back and give you my words of inspiration. So stay tuned because it's my Friday. So I'm off after this. So just stay tuned to that.
I ran away from heartbreak. Got nothing in return for my pain. I never thought I'd be so empty, so alone and afraid. Wasn't looking for a lover. Nobody understood where I've been. I guess I thought I needed more time to protect my love from potential offense. So I in you and you, but I so you took it and I'm not surprised by what I found. 'Cause I know I needed something different and it had to be you out the blue. Somebody who listened and it had to be you out of all the people to revive my love. Couldn't be just anyone, or maybe it had to be you. I didn't seem to notice that you were checking for me. We were just friends. So we started building trust and my fragile heart started to bend. Yeah. I should have paid attention. You would have been the obvious choice. But I needed time to see clearly, dig deep and cut through the noise. So I, then you, and you, but I, so you, and I, not surprised by what I found. 'Cause I know I needed something different and it had to be you out the blue. Somebody who listened and it had to be you out of all the people to revive my love. Couldn't be just anyone, or maybe it had to be you.
Welcome back. So listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed my guest with Miss Tomeka James. Check out her website, tomekasbeauty.com. And listen, she has a ton of training up there. If you're trying to be a beauty boss in that space, learn from her. She has years and years of experience helping you become a beauty boss. She has years and years of experience helping you become an entrepreneur. So be sure to check out her website, tomekasbeauty.com. So listen, this is the end of the show for me today. I gotta go. But listen, before I go, I see this little hair, right? Like I'm looking at that little hair. It's kind of, is it hair or is it the door? I don't know. It looks crazy. Anyway, today's my Friday, but before I go, I want to give you my word of inspiration for the day. And I thought this was, here it is. It says, for those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible. Oh my God. Let me say that again. For those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible. Stuart Chase said that, and he was absolutely right. When you believe in something, you believe in it. But for those people who don't believe in anything, you can't give them any proof. It doesn't matter how hard you try, so stop trying. Listen, don't try to push your belief on other people. All you can do is share, and whether they embrace them or not, it's totally up to them. And I can tell you, when you can look at our political atmosphere. There are some people who believe what they believe. No matter what you do, what you say, they're going to believe what they believe. And even when they have the proof, no proof is possible for them because they believe what they believe. And it's ingrained. And I had to learn that because I'm thinking, what in the world? Can't they see? Yeah, they can see it, but they don't believe it. So even though you provide proof, they just won't believe it. So don't waste your time. My message to you today is waste your time trying to force your opinions on others because they will not believe what they don't want to believe. So all I got for you today. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last hour and 11 minutes with me, and I love you to life of that. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Good Morning Gwinnett. Follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Gwinnett, and follow me on the Twitter at GM Gwinnett. I'll be back again Monday at 10 a.m. God willing. Listen, remember, tell your family and friends you love them. Tell them that you care about them. Keep your mask on until you get vaccinated. Stay safe. Stay socially distant. Do whatever the CDC is telling you to do. I know we're ready to get back to a new better. Not the new normal, a new better. That's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on a new better. Hope you are too. Be sure to listen to this. If you listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, go to Apple Podcasts, find your favorite 2 episodes, and give it 5 stars. I'll be back again Monday, God willing. Stay safe. And until next time, make it a great day. Bye, y'all. I'm out.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.